This keyboard has a knob and a screen that's detachable and replaceable with actual switches and keycaps. Now, thanks to Ajazz, we're offered gaming peripherals with these features at a low price. We have here the Ajazz AK870. This video is brought to you by Mechlands. Visit their website for a wide range of selections from keyboards to DIY kits to keycaps and switches. They offer a 30-day refund for defects and a 15-day no questions asked return policy. Their Amazon link will also be in the description below. So this is a gasket-mounted tri-mode wireless keyboard with a battery rated at 4000 mAh. This has a knob and a fully customizable screen that allows you to upload a GIF or an image in its software. If you don't like that screen, again, you're free to remove that and replace it with regular switches and keycaps that comes with its box. This has a universal hot swap PCB, so any switches, 3-pin, 5-pin switches would fit here. This has a full key rollover for zero interference with keystrokes and a 1000Hz polling rate. My unit came with pre-lubed Ajazz Maillard switches. Not sure if I said that right. They sound milky though and aren't too clacky. Moving on, I briefly explored the software here and I have no complaints. It has all you will need. And I tore this down in this video, so go check the chapters below and skip freely if that's what you're after. Just give me a like or a sub and we're good. Inside this box, you get the manual, the black braided cable, extra Maillard switches, 3 pieces of row 4 keycaps, and a keycap switch puller. I love how the cable is braided. That goes to my cable collection. The aluminum knob is 18 mils thick and the knob port is 6 mils thick for those wondering. I expected a tad bit of hollowness to the keyboard due to the full plastic housing, but don't worry as this is a fully dampened keyboard with silicone as the bottom case damper. On the bottom left of the keyboard is where you will find the USB-C in and the toggle switches. The feet here are standard feet with rubber stock underneath. Now, did I miss anything? Comment your questions and I'll be sure to answer them when I can. Keycaps are in cherry profile and made with double shot PBT. Stabilizers sound quite out of the box and are lubed, which is always expected from Ajazz keyboards. The stabilizers wobble a bit as they aren't perfectly fit on the positioning plate, but that's all good. The switches here are Ajazz Maillards with a 50-gram spring. They have RGB diffusers and that to me is a huge plus. The housing is colored brown and that may somewhat affect the RGB accuracy. That's fine. This keyboard is offered in 2 color variants, a light and a dark color theme on both. Each are offered in either the Maillard switches or the KTT Hyacinth switch. With no branded prints and RGB lights shining through the top case, I think this looks clean enough, yet with the gray and black top case, I would appreciate less colors from a top case of a keyboard. Underneath, you get prints that don't bother me as they're not seen when on your desk. Now, as for RGB lights, you get lots of RGB modes here and a lot of static colors to choose from. You may refer to the software for better controls and settings, of course. Alright, first step you're gonna have to take when tearing this down, you don't need to pull this off, but you could if that's what you want to do. So I held on to the knob and kind of rocked it up and down just to pull it out. Next, I'm going to pry off top clips. Okay, got the top case off. How many clips are there? Let's check. So there are 4 clips on top. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1 clip on both sides and then another 4 underneath. Pretty easy. Once you lift up the PCB, there will be a wire right here to the daughter board. That's the only wire you're gonna have to detach. So there's a lock here that you're gonna have to lift up and all good. What I like about this kind of design of its internals is the battery is connected to the daughter board, and if you want to detach the PCB from the positioning plate, you're gonna have to remove some screws. We have silicone as the bottom case damper. Very good, though the silicone isn't very dense. As you can see, it's a bit hollow inside, but that is all fine. In fact, this could even contribute to a more thocky or creamy sound. It will depend on other factors such as your switch. So underneath the PCB here, this is porous foam with adhesive on it, so it's stuck onto the PCB, kind of acting like a tape mod. In between the plate and the PCB, you get 3 layers: a porous sandwich foam, IXPE switch pad, and the PET anti-static film. Looking into the PCB further, this does not seem like it has screw-in stabilizer ports. But that's all fine. If you're wondering, gaskets here are made of silicone. Before I forget, yep, PC plate is flex cut and so is the PCB. Again, any questions, comment down below and I will answer them as soon as I can. So there you have it. Get these from Mechlands website down in the description below. And I'll see you again in the next reviews we'll have. Subscribe.